After getting mercilessly embarrassed by the OKC Thunder, as talked about in my last video, the Golden State Warriors bounced back on the second night of a back-to-back with Al Horford back in the lineup. Don't get it twisted, there's still no excuses for how bad that L to OKC was, but then again, the Thunder are beating down everyone right now. For example, the Thunder just blew out the Lakers worse than they blew out the Warriors. While it was Tuesday against the Thunder that Stephen Curry made his return to the lineup, he officially returned on Wednesday night as Uncle Chef went off to drop a season-high 46 points on 13 for 25 shooting from the field. We'll get to Curry, but the Warriors put out a new starting five featuring Moses Moody and rookie Will Richard, replacing Jonathan Kuminga and Quentin Post. This was a great decision from Steve Kerr, as Richard and Moody deserved to start based off the way they were playing. Richard's averaging 10 points on a 59-44-78 shooting split, great stats for any player, let alone a rookie. Meanwhile, Moody was shooting an outstanding career high by far, 43.3% from deep coming into this game, just too good to keep him out of the starting five. That said, the Warriors got down by as many as 16 in San Antonio, Texas, against a young and beastly now 8-3 Spurs team. This seemed like the Warriors were about to get blown out again, as they had a lackadaisical start where they looked rattled from such an embarrassing loss to OKC. Late in the second quarter, though, behind much more disciplined defense and fueled by scoring from primarily Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, and of course Stephen Curry, who ultimately combined for 93 of the Warriors' 125 points, the Warriors made a run to get back into the ballgame. That leads us to Stephen Curry's masterclass, as the Chef's 46-piece was electric. He was going with the flow, or as some would say, was methodical in the first half, but it was early in the second half where Stephen genuinely found a lethal flow. Curry scored 22 third-quarter points, and the craziest part is, he was subbed off with around 3 minutes left in the frame, I believe, so it could have been an even more deadly quarter. Shout out Steve Kerr for always subbing out Steph when he's on a heater, but I digress. It's always fun watching Steph just utterly tear it up, as the man is the funnest player to watch in the league, in my opinion. This became a historical night for Wardell as well. Curry passed Alex English for 23rd on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Jimmy Butler III was the second option the Warriors needed him to be in this one, as after being a complete no-show against the Thunder, Mr. Buckets bounced back. Butler attempted just 3 shots against the Thunder in what was an unacceptable performance. Because if the Warriors have any shot at putting up a fight, let alone beating OKC, they need Jimmy to be himself. Butler picked his spots extremely well against the Spurs, as not only did he let the game come to him, he was aggressive shooting the basketball when he needed to be. Jimmy posted 28 points, a team-high 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals. More importantly, Jimbo was efficient, as the efficiency on his three-point shot was really a great sign moving forward, because the Warriors need as much three-point shooting as they can get here. Jimmy shot 5 for 7 from three-point range in this one, and 7 for 12 from the field overall. Stellar stats. Moses Moody made 5 of his 10 three-pointers in this one, as Moses' changed mechanics on his jumper have paid dividends. Moody increased his three-point percentage from the career high it was already at, and I'm just hoping Stephen Douglas Kerr leaves him in the starting 5 for the rest of the season, because the Warriors seem to always play well when Moses is starting and getting key minutes. Moody's defense at the point of attack, his aggressiveness offensively, his poise under pressure, plus his adaptability whether he's starting or coming off the bench, are all quite frankly better than Jonathan Kuminga or anyone in the Warriors' wing rotation outside of Jimmy, of course. Draymond Green might have been 1 for 10 from the field and 0 for 7 from deep range in this one, but his numbers don't describe the performance he truly had. He did take an elbow to the head by Victor Wembanyama, but put on a defensive masterclass like the top defensive player that he is. Shout out to Green for a great performance. This win was about more than just numbers, it was about resilience. After being humiliated by OKC, Golden State could have easily folded, packed it in, and started pointing fingers. Instead, They showed the kind of pride and championship DNA that's defined the dynasty for a decade. You could feel the energy shift in the second half. The body language changed, the rotations tightened up, and the communication on both ends of the floor came alive again. This wasn't just about being back in the win column, it was about regaining their identity. It reminded everyone, and maybe themselves, that even if they're older, smaller, and less athletic than teams like the Thunder, they can still outthink, outwork, and outlast opponents when locked in. That mental bounce back, especially after back-to-back road games, might have been the most crucial part of all this. Because being real, this stretch could have gone off the rails. The Warriors' early season schedule has been brutal, and with how young and fiery the Western Conference has gotten, one bad week can send a team spiraling. If they followed up the OKC blowout with another loss in San Antonio, you could have easily seen the tension rise. Questions about Kerr's rotations, Curry's workload, Jimmy's fit, and whether this core had finally run its course. Instead, the opposite happened. They responded with unity, energy, and a performance that spoke volumes about their internal belief. Veterans like Draymond and Jimmy held everyone accountable after the loss against OKC, and Curry once again reminded the world that when he's cooking, no deficit is too big. That kind of response is what keeps the locker room together and keeps the front office confident in the current direction. And from a bigger picture perspective, this win might have been the turning point they needed. Every championship caliber team has that one moment early in the season where they get smacked in the mouth, and how they respond to that determines their ceiling. For Golden State, the OKC loss was rock bottom, a gut check against a younger version of who they used to be. But this bounce-back win, on tired legs, against an 8-3 Spurs team, showed heart. It showed leadership. It showed that while the dynasty days might be behind them, the spirit of it still burns strong. If the Warriors can build on this, tightening rotations, trusting Moody and Richard, and letting Curry and Jimmy lead by example, they'll be right back in the mix as a dangerous playoff team nobody wants to face come spring.
Each team